So I wanted to talk about how it was like growing up as a millennial. I was born in 1992. Yes, in the 1900s, as the fucking Gen Zs would say. So what we had when we didn't have phones, what we had were I'm going to show some things that we had in our time as a millennial. So we had CD players, and that's how we were able to play physical copies of CDs. And I forgot to get a picture of VHS, but you get if search up VHS. That's also where we play movies and stuff. And this one's a CD player, so I was trying to show what we had before we had like tablets and phones, cell phones, and stuff. What we had to retain content and etc. So one of it is CD players. So that's one of it. So let me try to show something else. CD players, they help because then we would sometimes. What's good about Spotify, you get to just pick the songs that you like and not have the whole CD. But still, it's good to like support. And I remember the CDs were like $13 to $15, I think, and stuff that I would get it from, and etc. So CD players helped when I would go to school and go on the school bus and stuff, and I would have my CD player and then play my CDs that I had and etc. CD wallet, etc. So yeah. And another one was a computer. We had family computers because I would live with extended families with my grandparents. I was raised by my grandparents, so we would live with other family members, and they had computers. So that helped a lot to go on the internet. And when we didn't, so like nowadays, we have phones and stuff that can help like have everything all at once. So, but back then everything was like separated, like to have or whatever. So one of it was computers, and I would always like be like, is the computer open? I want to use the computer, go watch music videos and stuff, and music videos, internet, play video games, not video games, like games or whatever on the computer, or go on the internet, etc. Whatever. So I'm yeah. Another one was Comcast. Now that one was here in my high school days. We had Comcast cable TV, so we had TV, so we would have the remote. Sometimes I'll fight with my twin sister over the remote. But so I would watch music videos on demand. As you can see, Comcast was a lifesaver in my high school days as a millennial. Basically, since I didn't really have a phone until like high school days, but mostly until my later 20s, that's when I started getting a phone. But other than that, before I had a phone, stuff where nowadays everybody has phones. Comcast TV, watching TV all the time on cable TV was a lifesaver, especially Comcast, and watching on-demand music videos. I would watch nonstop all the music videos that I wanted to watch or check out, and etc. So yeah, look kind of like something like this. So it show like previews on the side right here, and then I'll go to the music channel, and then I'll just try to check out all the music and anybody that I liked, and then just play their music videos and whatnot, or see what was on MTV back then. For millennials, it was popping for millennials. Music videos, MTV, VH1, and BT, and etc. So yeah, and Disney Channel and Nickelodeon back then when growing up. So yeah, and Cartoon Network obviously, and Adult Swim, etc. And all the channels, because we had cable TV. So basically, as a millennial, I remember watching all the cable TV, and if there's nothing on, then try to find something, like surfing the cable channel. All the channels, surfing all the channels, see what's on TV and stuff. So yeah. So basically, like going on the computer, that was one thing. So I would have my iPod. Basically, as a millennial, I remember iPods. Those were big in my days to like download music on iTunes. iTunes was also another lifesaver to download my music illegally or whatever. I don't want to say illegally, but I used the MP3 converter, free music converter, to download music or anything that was on YouTube, and then convert it into MP3. Or if it was a music video or any songs, then convert it to MP3 audio. and then download it to iTunes and then download it to my iPod, or watch or rent movies on my iPod through iTunes. And I used to buy iTunes cards, gift cards, or Amazon gift cards before I had a debit credit card or debit card. So I used to buy iTunes gift cards, like I think like $15 iTunes gift cards, just so I can buy stuff on iTunes on the the storefront. So yeah. Another one that I had was this. I had one in orange. It's a Play It Now, and this one helped me a lot because I can actually use a CD player or a radio, and I use that part right here, that port or whatever. And I would download the radio station when they play a song that I like or that's out right now, and I would use that to download the song. It'll record the song into my Play It Now, and it had some games like the snake game and stuff. I can't remember what else the Play It Now had, but I remember what I mostly used it for was for music. So that's how I was able to get my music that was new or current that I didn't have their CD albums. If I didn't have their CD albums or the mashup CD albums that where they have like Play It Now CD albums, like if it's not that kind, or the ones that have mashup of different current songs of that time CD album, like if it's not the artist's CD album, then I don't know how to explain, but yeah. So this one helped a lot. I had the orange one. Who would have known that would be like kind of like my color, I would say, that I like to get sometimes. I don't know, but yeah, I had to Play It Now because I got this at Walmart or something, and I think it was like $30. So yeah, so I remember getting this, and that one was a lifesaver too in my middle school days. So yeah. Hit clips. Now I remember this in my little years. In the 90s. I remember this in the 2000s or something. So I remember Britney Spears. I remember Britney Spears being one of them. That it only had one song that you get to play on the hit clip, but you get to play it on repeat. So besides having, like now I have Spotify where I can just play repeat on all the stuff and etc. And you know how like we have technology where everything's all at one place, or it's fast to just get everything all at once, especially on a phone. But back then, basically, this one where we had hit clips, and I remember my cousin, she let me have her Britney Spears. I remember when I was little in Sacramento, she let me have her Britney Spears, She's So Lucky hit clip, and I would play that when, before I go to sleep or something. I would just hear the "She's so lucky, she's a star." Yeah, Britney Spears or whatever. So yeah, so I remember hit clips in my growing up as well. That helped with playing our CD players. I didn't have tape cassettes because obviously it was more CD players. And it was like around, I was in my middle school days in like 2005, 2006. I remember they were gonna stop doing what's it called? They were gonna stop doing VHS cassettes, which is for movies to play movies, whatever. But we still have CDs, so there's that. But I remember radios; they helped a lot to play our CDs out loud. So yeah, there's that. There's iPod high school days, so these helped a lot too, where I got to hear all my musics from iTunes that we downloaded illegally or whatever from free MP3 converters and stuff. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know. But we'll put it on iTunes or whatnot, and then we'll put it on our iPod. Sorry, it got cut off. But then sometimes I'll rent movies on the iTunes shop, etc. from the movies back then, etc. I remember renting Tango, the Disney movie, and etc. So yeah, so I remember renting movies on the iPod sometimes before we had like where it's easy access to rent on the TV or whatnot. So yeah. I remember a PlayStation. My family had those, and we would play video games when living with them, extended family and stuff. The Tamagotchi, so I remember that a little bit. So yeah, I never really had a phone as high school besides one time. I think it was like a flip phone. But my cousin, she had a Motorola, and this was popular. And back in the day, it was the Motorola. And then I had a Nintendo 3DS around 2011 when I already finished high school. So I got it for Christmas from my auntie and uncle. So I had the Nintendo 3DS, so they had me when I was already like 19, 20 or something. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. What we had back in our days before we had like phones to have everything all at once or whatnot. So as a millennial. So yeah, peace. Check out. That's the Comcast. So OGs know what's up, especially millennials. We know how it was having cable TV.